that these white men called our countries. Do you know that in our countries we have lakes and rivers and mountains and roads and monuments named after white men? How many times have you gone to the USA and you find a monument of Kwame Nkrumah? How many lakes have you had that are named after Obasanjo or are named after Shaka Zulu? Have you ever been to the UK and you found a lake named after an African man? But why is it our lakes and rivers, our monuments, our main roads are named after white men? Lake Victoria in my country is named after the Queen. Are you telling me that before the Queen came to Uganda, this lake did not exist? Why do you call my river? See, why do you call my river River Nile? It has its own name. My people gave it its own name. Okay, so let's get this thing clear that diaspora does not only mean African people. Diaspora is any person. The first diasporans were the white people. They left their areas, they came to our areas and conquered. You understand? So my question is, why not? Actually, it's the contrary. All black people, please, guys, pack up your bags and go to these countries. Martha, I keep telling you, we need to conquer these people. Do you know that 75% of the wealth of the USA was built on the backs of your grandfathers? They picked people from our continent, took them for slavery with no payment, to build them railroads, to work in their farms, in their sugarcane plantations, okay, to work in their homes. My dear, our previous sister, my great-grandparents built the US. Every time you see New York City, every time you see Washington, D.C., this is the sweat of my great-grandparents. What are you talking about? I must go. I must go to these countries because they were built by my grandparents. Martha, your great-great-great-grandparents built the United Kingdom. They built Sweden. They built all these countries because they were the slaves who worked for free. They were harassed, they were sexually abused, they were tortured, and guess what? They ended up building a very wonderful country, a very wonderful continent that everybody wishes to go to. This is the sweat of our grandparents. So we need to go to these places that our grandparents built, and we need to conquer them. Do you know that 75% of the American gold came from Africa? Do you know that the UK does not have, if it has a lot, if any, it does not have more than five gold mines. If they are there, they are dry. All the wealth that the UK has piled came from Africa. The gold that came from the place of Mobutu Sese Seko in Democratic Republic of Congo, the gold of Ghana, the gold of Nigeria, the gold of all these countries, it came from my continent. The UK is the UK because of the gold from my continent. The Queen is the Queen because of the gold from my continent. You understand what I'm trying to say? So do not tell me that I'm coming to these countries only for money. I am coming to enjoy what my grandparents worked for. Now, back to the point. We have been brainwashed. The biggest problem of Africa, according to me, is education and religion. For as long as we know that the Son of God is white and the hater of God is black, Martha, I bet you $1 million US. If I had it, I would gladly give it to anybody who can bring 20 African children on random, or 20 men, or 1,000 men in Africa, and ask them, please, what is the color of the Lord Jesus Christ? Trust me, no one will ever say he's black. But yet, if you read the Holy Scriptures, this guy grew up in Egypt. He grew up in the territories of Africa. Jesus, their white Jesus, was born and raised in Africa. When you took refuge, you took the refuge in Africa. The first mathematics came from Africa. The first medical doctors came from Africa. Before people went to Harvard to study medicine and be gynecologists, our great-great-great-great-grandmothers were giving C-sections in Africa. Are you telling me that people did not give birth in Africa because there are no hospitals? Our people did C-sections. Our people gave birth. We had women who understood the anatomy of a man. When we had wounds and cuts, our parents would go to the bush and pick some herbs and give us. But here we are. If you don't take a white tablet called paracetamol, your headache will not clear. But yet in Africa, we don't take paracetamol, okay? We take herbs and we're fine. We have been brainwashed to think that everything white is good and everything black is bad.
Black.
And I want to tell you as a chemist that the chemical composition of a black man is highly different and highly upgraded and better than the chemical composition of a white man. We have a chemical called melanin. This kind of melanin is different from the white man. The melanin composition is a mixture of hydrogen, carbon, and other elements, and mostly carbon and hydrogen being one of the most chemically bonding elements that we have in the world today, because everything is carbonic, you understand. If you look at the carbonic component of a black man who has what we call the uromelanin, the white man has pheomelanin. Our melanin composition is stronger than them by a billion and billion and billion of times. The biggest hate that the white man has over a black man is simply the fact that this man has melanin and we are the original people of the world. Allow me to give you another history. The original people in Australia were black. The original people in India were black. If you want to check Google and see, there's a group of people called the Tamilados, the Malwari. These are the most intelligent people in India. They are black. The CEO of Google comes from that place. Most of the greatest engineers and doctors and surgeons come from that place. The original peoples in Philippines were black. The original people in the Amazon were black. The original people in the USA were black, although they tried to say that they were red Indians, yet we all know that really no one can be red. As far as I'm concerned, every time a white man comes to Uganda, he is the one who is red. So there's no red Indian. These people, if you look at the pictures, the Asian pictures, these people were black. My dear, the way I look at Africa is different from the way most people look at it. We are the true divine creatures, the original people on this planet. Yes.
We have a question here.
Yes.
Mr. Shenkesi says, what time in history are we talking about?
Okay. I may not give you the date, but you look around. If you go to India, you find a species of black people. If you go to Australia, you find a species of black people. I'll ask you a question. Where did these people come from? Do you understand? If you go to different parts of the world, you will find black people. Yes, some may say brown, but I would like to keep it between white and black. You understand? So